Tyson, back in action, back in Australia, which must be quite nice. Two home fights back to back.
Not really.
No?
Nah, still got a PTSD from my last fight.
Yeah, I guess just on that, can you tell us about what happened? I'm sure you've already spoken a lot about it, but...
For sure. I got gastro the night of the fight, so I thought it was food poisoning at first, and just coming out both ends, it is real sick, spewing up everywhere. Woke up at like 7 a.m. and just projectile vomiting. Looked at my coach and I was like, this is going to be a hard fight. So it was one of those things where it was like trying to figure out whether I should still fight or not. It was my call. I was hiding it from the rest of the team, so because I didn't want to freak them out. But I ended up hearing like this. His name's AJ Tracy, just this random album on iTunes that popped up, and it was called Flu Game, which was like his rendition of Michael Jordan's Flu Game. So, and I thought that was a sign. So I was like, oh yeah, this is I'm supposed to do this. And then next sign I saw was hospital sign. So it wasn't meant to be, but still went out there, had a crack, and that's I think that's what life's about. So I was happy with myself because I still went and showed my daughter that you work hard for something, you still go out there and do it. When you say you're going to do something, still getting it done. So it made me a bit jaded about the fans. It was the most hate I've probably received afterwards, which threw me off a little bit because it's hard to make sense when you go out and you put everything on the line. I know it was a terrible performance, but from what I was going through, I felt like I had a crack. But yeah, it was like afterwards I was trying to figure out made me sort of have to take a seat back and just think about why I'm doing this and stuff, because I thought it was always for the fans to put on a show, and I think that really went, well, if it's not for them, who is it? So had to really just take it's been probably the longest time off, and I actually got to spend a lot of time with my daughter and family, and made me really get back to focusing on why I started this and why I want to do this and why I'm fighting. So ended up like all the stuff in my life, the roller coaster. It's like just when I think it's the worst thing that ever's going to happen, it usually ends up being the best reason. So it's always hard to see that, but during the hard times.
When you were asking yourself those questions, like what sort of level were you at? Were you like, well, if this is the kind of response I'm going to get when I'm putting my body on the line, like, is it even worth it? Was it kind of that level?
Well, it was just like some of the messages that I was getting, people were messaging my wife, messaging me, were terrible. And it was, I understand, but I don't sympathize because a lot of it was to do with betting. Because I had such favourite odds because it was a 2-week late notice fight that everyone just went, oh, this is a sure thing, so put on big money. And then were messaging me, so like, I don't give a fuck about your bets. I lost $100,000 easily for like sponsorships, losing the contracts, could have upped the contract. So when people are messaging me about betting and stuff like that, it pisses me off, and especially as soon as you get family, I'm messaging, hey, where are you? I'll meet up, because some of the stuff you message, I was like, bro, if you get why we're fighters. So I had to just pull myself back in, reset. But it just made me go like, fuck this. I was like, why am I doing? But then once I just found my true north again, why I'm doing it, and it doesn't really matter about what happens. And Izzy was a part of that as well. It was during the time when we went to Miami, and I just asked him, I was like, bro, you deal with a lot of hate. I was like, and from my understanding, for how he explained it, was whether they give you positive energy or negative energy, it's energy. So it's how you use it. So it was my perception of it, and I think that sort of allowed me to realign and just get after it.
How tough is it fighting a 3-round fight with gastro?
Yeah, it was, to be honest, it wasn't that bad, because the first round I was in it, and then I got rocked so bad. I was so dehydrated, I was getting rocked, so I can't remember any of it. So to rounds 2 and 3, that probably took a couple of years off my life. So I'm eating, so it wasn't too bad. And then they gave me mad painkillers afterwards, so it wasn't no. So yeah. The funny thing was, afterwards I gave it to my whole family, and they were like, no one could get out of bed for like a week. So it was good to show them that I still went out there and did a 3-round fight in front of hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, I guess they could kind of feel a little bit of what
yeah. I was pumping them all up. I go, let's go, get in a fight, warm up.
You have to laugh about these things,
have
right?
To.
You're healthy now, back in it, Sydney, about 4 weeks' time.
Yep.
Another, striker from what I've seen of Anton. What do you make of him?
To be honest, from the small amounts that I've watched, he seems a bit awkward, like a bit of an awkward style. And it'll be interesting to see how that matches up. I did see a bit of ground stuff that he worked on, but honestly, I'm just going there and just letting him worry about me. Like, I feel like I've covered all areas. I'm feeling like I can beat anyone in all areas. So it's up to him to try and make a plan against me. He has like weird, dangerous areas. Like that's what I mean by awkward, like unorthodox shots, spins around and stuff. But yeah, if I go out there and just dominate him, I actually want to just have a good scrap. This one, it's my hometown. I want to show everyone that I'm still a fighter, why they love me. So yeah, just come in and have a good scrap. Sydney loves a good fight, so that's what it's about.
Plenty of energy around the gym. So many fighters having big fights in the same week. Obviously, you got another big body in Carlos Ulberg. Having your last 3 camps and having a guy like him, I know like elite light heavyweights and heavyweights are quite hard to come by down this end of the world. Just how good is it having him in the same gym?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, man. Like I said, I've been to so many gyms now, and my martial arts career has always led me to all these different spots, and I can feel like this is the final chapter here of my MMA career in City Kickboxing. This is where I'm going to finish it. So to be around all of it, like I just said something the other day, and it's like you can honestly feel surrounded by greatness, and it is a very selfish experience and endeavor that I'm going on because I'm just like, I like to think that I'm giving something to this gym, but I'm just taking so much from this gym, whether it's like how I'm as a man, my skill set, wrestling, like every single thing that I feel like I'm taking. So I like even just coming back for the last camp to help out with Izzy, because you feel like you're taking so much and want to give back. And that's what they've created here, this family, this sort of family tight-knit unit. And especially just being around all of these guys all the time. It's not just the physicality, it's the mentality as well. It's like the champion mindset, like how they all think. There's a reason why they're all at the top of their game.
You got your family here this time around. Just how much of a difference does it make having them in the same city as you?
Yeah, I can't wait for them to go home. They've been here for 4 days. It's been amazing. You know, my little daughter, my wife, it's been like I said, just remembering why, like there's so many times you just wake up, like yesterday we had 4 sessions, and like on the 3rd I was just standing in the mirror going, I don't know how I'm going to get to it. So to look to my little daughter and go, all right, like she comes over and wipes my sweat off. She goes, okay, daddy, look at it. Makes me go, all right, this is why I'm doing it, this is why I'm in it. So it's good to have them here, but like I said, it's also, they won't be around coming up to the lead up to the fight. That's why I had them last time, and I feel like just changing the mindset and having that warrior mindset. Here she is now, princess. Hello, wait, oh thank you.